Hello everybody and welcome to the Summer of City Builders. Now I'm sure that you may have noticed that this is obviously not Prison Architect. This is the third game of the Summer of City Builders, Factorio. Now this series is going to run a bit differently in comparison to the other series. I'm going to start gathering while I talk about what's going to happen. What's going to happen with this is, what I'm going to try and do is get Prison Architect 3 Sundays in a row. And then I'll release one episode of Factorio. And then after Factorio, we'll start with 2 weeks of the second game of the Summer City Builders, Room World. So basically, I'm going to alternate between the three on this pattern, where it's going to be 3 weeks of Prison Architect, 1 week of Factorio, and 2 weeks of Room World. The reason why I'm going to do this schedule instead of doing straight one or doing an alternate of the 3 constantly is, with Factorio, it's a very long game about automation, and mainly the gathering of resources is going to take a lot of time, and the making of supplies like researching and such would take up time, and to be honest, I don't want to have all that mining and gathering and researching and automation be caught on camera that often. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do all the automation and grinding and stuff off camera, and then on camera I'm going to do the more exciting things like building railroads, creating large tunnels, making big districts, and stuff like that. So since this is the first episode, you're going to see a lot of me grinding, and I just realized that the reason why everything's taking so long to craft is because I haven't made an axe yet. That explains that. Alright, now we can gather things. I was wondering, why is the gathering so slow? And then I thought about it, and then I realized, no axe. So right now I'm just gathering up coal, so that way I can set down this burner mining drill, and then put coal into it, and then make a chest before it starts spewing its contents out onto the floor. Chest, please. And there we go. Now it's just going to filter into that chest. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run around and look for iron. I know iron. There it is. Now here's some iron, so I'm going to gather this iron so I can make another drill and start drilling out of this place. So that way I can start with preparing to make boilers and such. Now Factorio is very long, and I mean it's very slow paced. It's not like Prison Architect, which is moderately paced. It's very slow. That's why I'm trying to have most of the things that needs to be done off camera, so that way you don't have to endure the slow pacing and the slow speed of gathering materials and researching. Because researching in this it takes a while. The higher you get, the longer it gets. So for now I'm just going to start with gathering my supplies and smelting stuff. Just gotta run over here to get coal. Okay, I've got iron plates at least. And you get it. Alright, now I just gotta wait for that iron to smelt up. And for now I'm gonna, while we wait for stuff to smelt up and for the drill to bring in some materials, let me just make sure that I throw the rest of the coal that's coming out of here back into here, so that way it doesn't stop while I'm going out. I'm going to go explore a little bit, to keep things interesting, to make sure I have a decent okay, holy jungle wind, there's a ton of jungle. There's no way I'm going in this direction. So there's tons of jungle that way, that's confirmed. There's oil around this area. Yeah, there's tons of oil in this area, which is quite convenient for me. Makes things easier in the late game without having to explore too far and worrying about being attacked. Now, I don't have peaceful mode on, so monsters will come attack me at any point. I could just be sitting AFK drinking, and then boom, they're gangbanging me because I was sitting AFK drinking. So I won't even be able to sit in AFK in a safe spot. And that's why I can't make a drill right now, because I need to gather some more stones. And I think I actually have enough stones right now. And there we go. Just making the drill. Even crafting in this takes its fair share of amount of time. Which is why I'm so glad that this game is purely about automation, because there's nothing I love more than automation. There's just no... Oh, hold on, I have coal in my inventory. Yeah. There's nothing I love more than automation. I did not think this through. This is gonna be awkward. Alright, so I'm probably gonna need one of these. Or one of these. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this, rotate you around, get this, then get this. Now, I'm going to need some more coal in order to use all of these at once. Luckily, we have our coal produced. And then we're going to come over here, we're going to throw coal, let's say like 5 pieces of coal into here, and the rest into here. Now, this is probably out of place. There we go. And this should start hauling, I think. It should start moving stuff. Unless, do I need to move it closer? Alright, there we go. Now it's going to start hauling things out. The only downside with moving it so close is if they get too close, it won't reach for it, which is the only problem I have with these. But yep, now, yeah, I've already started with the automation with just like a small little rinse cycle that produces iron plates for me. And this is generally how you start things in Factorio. You start off really small with your auto production in order to maximize time and efficiency. So that way you don't have to do all this grabbing ores and bringing them and then smelting them. Nope, you just have that do it for you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit for a little bit so that way I can have enough iron plates, and when I have enough iron plates I'm going to... Oh, I think I saw some hostiles in the far region of the map over here. There are a few unfriendlies. Yeah, yep, there are some unfriendlies in this direction. They're good ways away from where I'm going to set myself up. So thankfully, I shouldn't be too engaged in combat, but if they become a problem, I'm just going to literally just flip out. I'm going to start by cutting these trees down in this area because I need a path to this copper here. Because I'm most likely I'm definitely going to need copper after I start setting up for the boiler. So I'm going to need this copper, so I'm going to cut down these trees in order to make a path back to camp. Chopping down wood and singing this song. Chopping down wood with a chop, chop, chop. Chopping down. Okay, you know what? I might actually do that off camera since I'm not going to immediately need wood. I am going to gather these stones though because I need them. Which reminds me, I should probably just make a drill and start auto drilling stone myself. And we've got a ton of plates. And what do I need to make this? Oh, I need a little bit more stone. And there we go, now we've got stone. And now we're making another drill. How much coal is in this? 14. Got 31 coal out of this. Rotate you along. Get a chest. Stick the chest here. Stick fuel in, and there we go. Now we're gathering coal automatically. Not coal, stone. We're getting stone automatically. So with auto production of stone, I'm going to actually want to increase the amount of coal gen we're getting, because even with the amount of coal that's coming out of this, it's a solid amount of coal that's coming out, but I am using a lot more coal. Well, I'm going through coal faster than I can currently produce it, so I'm going to build another drill right next to it. And I'm going to put a chest on it. Now, the thing I like about Factorio is that the monsters don't come in and randomly just come and mess you. They don't spawn in the same way it would for Minecraft, where it's just because it's dark, all these skeletons and stuff are just going to come and gangbang you out of nowhere. No. It's more balanced in the sense that they have a base. They will spawn from that base. If you get too close from that base, they will come and fuck your shit up. So with that logic, I stay very far away from their bases until I get a bunch of grenades and an assault rifle, and when I get my assault rifle and grenades, I just run up, basically Shrek the base with the grenades, and then just finish off any little leftovers with my assault rifle. Right now I'm just gathering a whole bunch of plates because I'm going to do a really big one. And I guess ideally for a base I want somewhere that is not cluttered with ores and such, so I'm going to set up here, I think, maybe? So I'll just chop down these trees right here. Chop. My iron axe is getting a little bit low, but that's fine. It's fine. So I'll be pumping out water out of this lake right here in order to create our power supply. And I wonder, do I have the research? Oh, thank God, I don't need to research it, but I do need copper. And that's the main reason why I wanted copper. I guess I gotta pull it out. I have to pull it out now since I'm going to start planning. Oh, great, at least I'm halfway there. Chopping down all these trees in my way. Chop. Chop. Chop for you. And I'm going to chop you. And you too. I'll see you in Chop City. And there you go. Now we have a path. Now I'm probably going to want to go back and get some more stone in a second. I've got my handy pistol. Shoot first, ask questions later. Let me see, there's 24 iron in here, alright. And we've got some serious coal production now, with 2 of these pumping out coal. I'm going to pump the coal back into these, so that way I don't have to worry about refilling them later. And right now, nothing should be in desperate need of coal right now. Yeah, nothing's in desperate need of coal, except for the inserter, but those usually last a little bit longer. By the way, the browning on the map, I believe, was air pollution, so basically with all the smoke that I'm producing from my machines, it's basically air pollution. I believe that's what it was. Not sure if they changed the color scheme. Are they? No, they're just doing, random drills, just enjoying a nice walk around. There seems to be a lot of red dots on the screen, and red dots are bad things. So I'm not sure if they're coming yet or not. Luckily, I have this natural barrier of trees, and oh fuck, there's no natural barrier of trees in the south. Alright, so they have a pretty much straight, clear path towards me if they decide to say, you know what, let's go fuck up his day. They have a completely clear path, and they can completely fuck up my day. The thing is, I can't just ignore them because, well, technically, I can ignore them in a way. And if I ignore them and they come, if I run, they can just come and wreck my shit. And I am very fond of my shit. So I'm probably going to have to deal with them with my pistol and regular magazines. Let's see, still burner mining drill going away. Got the coal I need. So pretty much what I'm going to do is, because I don't want to walk all the way over to that coal, I'm going to belt it towards the main camp. There we go. The only downside is if those monsters are actually intelligent enough to say, well, he seems to have an isolated drill out here, why don't we just hit that and run? Then they could hit that, and they could run, and I would never know. Which is kind of a downside to having, whoa, I have a lot of coal in my inventory. Let's just refill these machines, like this one, and this one. They could just come and ransack that, and I would definitely not go out there to defend it. It's like, you're on your own. Every man for himself. Even if you do belong to me. Whoops, put that in the wrong spot. And the only thing I hate is how expensive it is to get belts early game. I think my axe just broke. Let's just make another one of those. Oopsie, I just made a lot of these. Cancel, cancel. I just requested a lot by accident. Oh, well, thanks a lot. That's not bad actually, I could move it here. Alright, I think this is far enough. This is far enough for me to just start dumping it. In center, please. Actually, no, let me back this up one space. Alright, there we go. I don't know if that's far enough, but who knows. If it doesn't work, we'll fix it. I made a booby. I was trying to request two different things at once, but I requested it at the wrong order. I was supposed to request the drill first and then the furnace, but instead I requested the furnace first and then the drill, and basically it took the furnace that I requested and turned it into a drill. So I had to request another furnace because of that. Alright, that's got fuel in it. Now I gotta run over here. Gotta go fast. And put 15 in here. And put the rest in there. And bada bing, bada boom, we're in business again. So now the heavy industrialization is occurring. I got this. Now let me just make sure I grab this coal that's coming out of here. There we go. I mean, this with the stone production, it's like I'll only need stone whenever I need a furnace until I get into the late game heavy stuff, and it's just gonna be like, oh, now I constantly need stone, and now I need to move this because it's not close enough. It's not even close, baby. There we go. Now it's gonna start picking up, and I might as well pick these up as well. Did this seriously run out of coal? Okay, that's way too much coal. There we go. Oh, that's right, because it only puts in 2 pieces. I have not figured out how to change that, but the inserters usually only leave 2 pieces of any material inside the furnace at all times. So it'll only keep 2 in there, and if it gets off on an irregular pace, it's just going to do that, and there's always going to be a piece of coal stuck there. But I suppose that's fine. It doesn't really bug me too much. You know, we have that long piece of coal out there. It doesn't bother me at all. So it doesn't really matter. So now we've got mass production going on. And I just realized that it might be a more solid idea to just make my camp in the central area, instead of having to move all the way to the north up here and then having to come back constantly. So in order to do that, in order for the base camp that I ideally want, I'm going to come down here and start planning. So first of all, I don't know how this piece of coal is here. I don't know what it stands for. Okay. I probably, if I had known I was going to set my base up here, I would have just put a drill here instead, but oh well, we've already got this drill set up over there with the tons of iron that's right next to it anyways. This drill just produces tons of stone, and until I do some solid researching, stone has the value of rocks, which is exactly what it is. Holy, that is a lot of them. I can't even actually see their base, and I know that's a ton of enemies. And I have no idea if they're going to come and group up and attack or not, but ideally they'll want to do that. They usually send in, like, I'd say the largest encounter I've ever had was 7 of them. They usually send in 7 of their, like, grunt soldiers and they just come and hit and run. So there's going to most likely be 7 of them coming at my base. I don't know when, but they will strike. And until then, I will act like they're not there, because most likely they think I don't know that they're there. And I just realized I have another mining drill. I have no idea why I built another drill. I have no need for another drill. Oh well. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Alright, so I'm gonna start... Alright, first I'm gonna need an offshore pump. Taking its time to craft. There we go. One offshore pump. Step 2, piping. Lots and lots of piping. Basically, I'm going to want to set this up like this. Oh crap! No! I dropped it in the water! Oops, I forgot that F was to drop items, and I dropped it right into the water. Luckily, I could pick it back up, but it could have been worse. Next, I'm going to want a boiler. And by a boiler, I mean 3 boilers, ideally. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's 3 boilers. Next up, I'm going to want a steam engine and some more piping. Alright, I'm going to press 4 pipes.